The principal's voice boomed through the intercom like thunder over the football field. "Braden Hayes, report to my office immediately. You're nothing but trouble." I froze mid-stride in the crowded hallway, my backpack slipping from my shoulder as every eye in Westridge High turned to me, whispers slicing the air like switchblades. But it wasn't his words that gutted me. It was the note clutched in my fist, Roman's handwriting scrawled across it. "I can't do this anymore. It's over. Don't come looking." That note hit harder than any slur I'd ever heard in the locker room, because Roman wasn't just some guy. He was the one who'd made me believe in something real amid the chaos of senior year in this godforsaken Ohio suburb. Westridge High sat smack in the heart of Middle America, where cornfields stretched like endless regrets and Friday nights revolved around gridiron gods and church potlucks. I was the outlier. Openly gay, unapologetically loud, the kid who'd painted rainbows on my locker and started the GSA club despite the school board's side-eye. Principal Hargrove, a barrel-chested relic with a buzzcut and a Bible verse tattooed on his forearm, had pegged me as the ringleader of every minor rebellion. From the time we hung pride flags in the quad to the bake sale that accidentally funded a drag queen's visit. "Trouble," he'd growl during assemblies, his eyes narrowing like he was sighting a target. But Roman, he was the golden boy, quarterback on the varsity team, son of Hargrove's golf buddy down at the country club. We met last summer at a bonfire party by the river, where the fireflies danced like hesitant confessions. He was all easy smiles and calloused hands from tossing spirals, and I was the skinny artist kid sketching graffiti murals on abandoned barns. One stolen kiss under the willow tree, and it snowballed. Late-night drives in his beat-up Ford, hands intertwined over the gearshift, whispering dreams of escaping to New York or LA where we could be us without the whispers. "You're my safe harbor, Bray," he'd murmur, his breath warm against my neck. I believed him. God, I believed him. The walk to Hargrove's office felt like a march to the gallows. Kids parted like the Red Sea, some smirking, others shooting pity glances. My best friend, Mia, a fierce Latina with a buzz cut and a knack for hacking school Wi-Fi, texted me, "What now? Riot?" I didn't reply. My thumb hovered over Roman's contact, but the note burned in my pocket like a brand. Hargrove's door swung open before I could knock. He loomed there, red-faced, a stack of papers clutched like evidence in a trial. "Sit down, Hayes. We've got a problem." His office smelled of stale coffee and old leather, walls lined with framed photos of championship teams and a single cross hanging crooked above his desk. He slapped the papers down. Printouts of emails, screenshots from the school's anonymous tip line. Accusations flew me corrupting the GSA, rumors of inappropriate conduct in the art room. But the kicker? A blurry photo of Roman and me, backs to the camera, holding hands behind the bleachers after practice. My stomach dropped. Who sent this? That's not the point. Hargrove leaned forward, veins bulging in his neck. This school's under siege, boy. Parents are up in arms about your little club turning our kids into whatever you are. And now this, with Roman Ellis? His father's livid. Says you're a distraction, a damn liability. He paused, eyes softening just a fraction. Pity, maybe, or calculation. Look, Braden, I get it. Times are changing. But you're stirring up a hornet's nest. The board's meeting tonight. If you step back, keep it quiet, maybe we can bury this. Bury it, like Roman had buried us. I wanted to scream, to hurl the chair across the room, but instead, I laughed. A hollow, bitter sound that echoed off the trophies. Step back? So you can pretend everything's fine while kids like me get shoved into lockers? Or worse. My voice cracked on the last word, memories flooding back. The freshman who'd hanged himself last year after the anti-gay slurs got too loud. The whispers that followed like ghosts. Hargrove flinched but said nothing. I stood, the note crumpling in my fist. Call me trouble all you want, principal. But trouble's what this place needs. I stormed out, the bell ringing like a starting pistol. The rest of the day blurred. Mia dragging me to lunch, force-feeding me fries while I stared at my phone, willing Roman to text an explanation. He didn't. Practice started without him. Word was he'd twisted an ankle. But I knew better. By dusk, the sky bruised purple over the parking lot, and I found myself at the river, the same spot where it all began. The water rushed cold and indifferent, carrying away cigarette butts and broken promises. That's when my phone buzzed, not Roman, but Mia. Emergency GSA meeting. Now, auditorium. The auditorium was a tomb when I arrived, lit only by emergency exits and the glow of laptops. 10 kids huddled on the stage. The theater geeks, the quiet poets, a couple of jocks who defected after last year's locker room beatdown. Mia paced, her boots thudding like war drums. It's bad, Bray. Tip lines blowing up. Someone leaked the photo to the local news. Hargrove's calling an all-school assembly tomorrow to address the moral decay. Parents are petitioning to shut down GSA. Moral decay. The words tasted like ash. We brainstormed in frantic whispers. Protests, walkouts, viral videos, but nothing stuck. Then my phone lit up. Roman. Meet me. Bleachers. Please. Heart slamming. I slipped out, the night air thick with impending rain. He was there, shadow in the half-light, helmet dangling from one hand like a noose. Bray, he started, voice raw. I didn't mean. You ended it. I cut him off, fists balled. With a note, like I'm some summer fling. His face crumpled, eyes glistening under the stadium lights. Dad found out. From Hargrove. He said if I didn't cut ties, he'd pull me from the team, ship me to military school. Said you're poison, that you're why the team's losing. Rain began to spit, dotting his jersey. He stepped closer, the scent of turf and sweat wrapping around me like a memory. I panicked. But I love you, Braden. I do. Just give me time. Time. The word hung between us, fragile as the first drops turning to downpour. I wanted to shove him away, to hate him for choosing safety over us. But his hand found mine, trembling, and in that touch, I saw the boy who'd sketched our initials in the river mud, who'd promised forever over stolen beers. Roman, this isn't just about us. The whole school's fracturing. Hargrove's using me as the scapegoat to cover his ass. Did you know enrollment's down? Budget cuts? He's blaming distractions like me instead of fixing the leaks in the roof or the chem lab that's a fire hazard. He pulled back, confusion etching his brow. What are you talking about? I'd pieced it together weeks ago, sketching in my journal while he practiced. Anonymous audits showing Hargrove siphoning funds for his consulting side gig. The GSA budget slashed while his golf outings lined up suspiciously. I'd emailed tips to the district, but nothing. Now, with the photo leak, his leak? No, wait. Roman's eyes widened. Dad, he has access to the tip line. He could've. Betrayal hit like lightning. Not Roman's note, but Hargrove's game. Pitting us against each other, using his own kid's secret to bury the truth. Roman saw it too, horror dawning. Oh God, he played me, to get to you. We stood there, soaked and shaking, as the pieces clicked. This wasn't just homophobia. It was corruption, a principal weaponizing hate to hide his greed. Roman's jaw set, that quarterback fire igniting. We expose him. Together. The assembly the next morning was a powder keg. The gym overflowed with students slouched in bleachers, parents clutching Starbucks like shields, teachers murmuring in clusters. Hargrove took the mic, his voice oiled with false gravitas. Today, we confront the challenges facing our community. Influences from outside, yes, even within these walls, threaten our values. Braden Hayes, your actions have disrupted. Disrupted. I surged from the front row, Mia at my heels, Roman slipping in behind like a ghost. The room hushed, a collective inhale. I'd spent the night wiring my laptop to the projector, hack courtesy of Mia, and now, as Hargrove's face purpled on screen, my voice echoed amplified. Let's talk real disruption, principal. Like how you've been pocketing $50,000 in maintenance funds for your lake house renovations. Or slashing GSA to fund your buddy's construction kickbacks. Gasps rippled. I clicked. Bank statements, blurred for anonymity but damning. Emails chaining Hargrove to shady deals. The photo, reframed not as scandal, but as proof of his targeted harassment. Roman stepped up beside me, voice steady despite the tremor in his hand on my back. And using kids' secrets to cover it? That's not leadership. That's betrayal. Chaos erupted. Parents yelling, phones flashing, Hargrove lunging for the cord but Mia blocking him with a fire extinguisher like a medieval flail. Security swarmed, but it was too late. The live stream Mia had rigged hit the local news feed, then viral TikTok. Fists flew in the crowd, not at me, but at the lies crumbling. A mom from the PDA stood, tears streaming. My son's in GSA. This ends now. Even Coach Ellis, Roman's dad, pushed through, face ashen, whispering, "Son." In the melee, Roman pulled me aside. Rain from last night still metaphorically drenching us. "I'm done hiding. For you. For us." His kiss was fierce, public, a declaration amid the storm. Not erotic, just raw, lips brushing like a vow, tasting of salt and second chances. The fallout was biblical. Hargrove suspended pending investigation. The board in emergency session. Reporters swarmed the parking lot, but I slipped away with Roman, driving his Ford to the river as sirens wailed in the distance. We sat on the bank, feet dangling, the water murmuring forgiveness. "You shocked them," he said softly, head on my shoulder. "Shocked me." "Not me," I replied, tracing the scars on his knuckles from old fights. "We did. And maybe that's the real crisis solved. Not the money, but the silence." Weeks blurred into hearings and headlines. The school got a new interim principal, a no-nonsense woman from Cleveland who reinstated GSA with double the budget. Roman came out at the next assembly, mic in hand, no notes. Love isn't trouble. Hiding it is. His dad showed up to the hearing, not with apologies, but with a quiet nod, progress inch by inch. For us, it was tentative healing. Dates at the diner, hands visible on the table. Murals I painted with Roman's input, rainbows bleeding into football motifs. There were setbacks. Slurs in the halls, Roman's throws wobbling under scrutiny. But we leaned in, humanistic in our flaws. America wasn't fixed. Not this Rust Belt corner or the broader heartland. But we'd carved a space, shock by shock. As graduation loomed under that same willow tree, Roman knelt. Not dramatic, just him. "Escape with me? NYU, art school for you, poli-sci for me. Build something real." I pulled him up, our foreheads touching. "Yeah, but we bring the trouble. The good kind." In the end, it wasn't happily ever after. Not yet. By Kitsch lingered in the what-ifs, the scars from betrayal's blade. But it was human, messy, redemptive, profoundly ours. And in America's vast, imperfect canvas, that was enough.